So first, let's start at the beginning. Search engine marketing is critically important for businesses because in order for a business to be found by consumers, prospects, and customers, they need their website to be available. To do that, website ranking is critical, how the website is ranked. Such studies show that consumers won't look past the first page on a Google search. I mentioned Google because Google accounts for somewhere around 97% of all online searches. So at least not, and I'm not counting China in that because China has their own search engines and things, but we're talking about everywhere but China, 97%. So imagine you have a business and it has a website. Well, let's say that business is it's a nice storefront. It's got, let's say it's a retail store and it has a lot of glass in front, and let's say it's a clothing store. It has a lot, you can see the clothes and shoes, everything's well displayed. And so consumers walk by and they go, oh, let's go in. It looks like a nice store. But what if that store was on a street that is not populated? Let's say it's a very slow, not a busy street. If that was the case, they would get much less foot traffic coming in the door. Then search engine marketing works the same way. Imagine that that you have your website, which you're proud of, and your website is kind of like your digital storefront. And then it's on page 3 of a Google search and no one's going there. Most consumers don't go past page 1. So that's where search engine marketing comes into play. And that's why it's so important. And that's why we're going to focus on here. So we have digital marketing and traditional marketing strategies. The similarities are, if you're looking at traditional marketing, you're looking at reach. We need reach. You know, for newspaper, magazines, radio, television, all the traditional forms of media have to have reach. That's what advertising companies are paid for. They're paid for their reach. Reach is how many people we are in front of at a particular time. Not necessarily listening or watching, but at least the television or radio is on, or the newspaper was delivered to the house, or the magazine is in the doctor's office. It's there. And the reach is, you have potential reach. But there's a big difference between reach and engagement. So reach is just getting in front of a prospect. Engagement is getting their attention and getting them to take action, possibly take action, but at least get their attention. So the differences are both of these methods, traditional and digital marketing, need reach. We need reach. We need to reach people. We need to get in front of people, consumers, prospects. But the difference is with digital marketing, it revolves around engagement and a two-way communication stream. We actually want the prospect or consumer to interact with us. That's what digital marketing is. So it's instead of a one-way communication, it's a two-way communication. And that's what we try to create with effective digital marketing. So these are some of the methods that, some of the tools that we have for digital marketing. You know, we have social media. That helps create a community around a brand. We have digital advertising that we get exposed to every day. We have search engine optimization, and that is where we organically optimize our website so it does show up in a search. And then we have the website itself, and the landing pages and the all the things we have to have in order for the website to be optimized. Then we have conversation marketing, and that includes public relations, but it also includes customer reviews or reputation management we will be talking about. And then we have email marketing, that includes telemarketing, any direct approach like that. Then we have customer relationship management, and that's important for businesses, especially B2B businesses. We want to manage our databases and market to potential business customers. And then mobile apps, things like that. So that is a digital strategy. So one of the things that we want to look at when we are working on our search engine marketing is our website itself. Is it an effective website? And there's certain things we want to look at to determine that. The website needs to be simple. The more confusing a website is, the more likely consumers have of getting frustrated and leaving the website. And we call that bouncing, and we do not want a high bounce rate. There's a visual hierarchy we're looking for, because consumers are used to seeing, they're used to experiencing a website a certain way. And when they go from website to website, we want to give them a familiar treatment, because that's what they're used to, and that's going to make them more comfortable. We need to, along with that, have a clear navigation bar. They need to be able to navigate the website effectively. And usually it's a horizontal navigation or menu bar across the top of the page is what consumers are used to seeing. And the website needs to be responsive to different formats. And that includes phones, where 70% of our searches are on our smartphones, our web searches, and also tablets and large format computers. It needs to be accessible, and it needs to be conventional, and it's the third from the bottom, conventional. And that has to do with again, like I said before, what the audience is used to, what they want to see, what they're used to. And then and like everything else, it needs to be user-centric. It's not what we want to show them that counts. It's what they want to see. And when we show them what they want to see, then we have a better connection. I want to show you a couple of examples of websites, different types. One of them is sort of a model, if you will, that is emulated as a kind of a state-of-the-art page, and this would be the state-of-the-art website, because it's a e-commerce site. Probably hard to see the exact, it's very clear up when you see it from this screen. It's extremely clear. They must have great servers to get this kind of visual acuity, but the iPhone 13 is, for Apple, their top product right now. Now, I remember 6 months, maybe it was longer than that, but it was 6 months ago or so, I was looking at their website and they had the Apple Watch. So whatever their key product is at that time, that's what they're going to show on the front page of the landing page, front page of the website. So they're always going to do that. And you notice that they're the unique value proposition they have, their unique selling point or value proposition is the camera, right? You notice they lead with the camera. So they're leading with their strength. And that's smart, right? That's what they should do. And then you can go to as you go into the navigation bar, you have your Apple Store, you have Macs, the different Macs they have for sale, and they have different formats of the Macs up here, the iPad, the iPhone we just saw, the watch, AirPods, all those things across the top of the menu. So, it's an e-commerce site, but you notice that they have a white background. That is really important, white background. If you're going to sell something on Amazon, you are required to submit the photography with a white background. They don't want a dark background. They don't want a natural back. They want white because that shows the pictures better. You notice that wherever you go on this website, across the navigation bar, you can always get back to the main screen. You do that by going to the Apple here. Okay, so that's how you do that. And all of these pages have depth. You can go down and, see all those things. And you have different, you can go to the Genius bar, make an appointment, do all those things. So that's the quintessence, that's the state of the art, Apple website, which is highly respected as an e-commerce site. And now, of course, I've lost the page, which I hate, but anyway. So now we're going to go to another type of site that may not be quite as good as far as effectiveness. It's Stone Brewery, which is a major restaurant, craft beer maker in North San Diego. So when we go to Stone Brewery, what they do is they have a video approach to this. And I think it works to a certain extent, but there's a risk to having your website very video centric. And that's because it can lead to slow loading speeds. So in order to be able to play video like that, they have to reduce the resolution to make to really make the file smaller. Because what you don't want on your website is slow loading speeds. That's bad. That's going to really affect your basically the performance of the site and lead to higher bounce rates. And you can go to our beers and they have different things. And what you can do, this is kind of a cool feature. You can put your zip code in here. It'll tell you who sells their beer near you, which is kind of a cool feature, actually. It's actually very accurate, too. I tested it. I don't want to do it right now. But there's a problem with this page. So that's good. The bad thing is they have a glitch in the system here. So you notice, remember I said you can click on like the Apple icon or click on an icon on the left-hand corner and come back to the main page. Guess what? Can't do it. Can't do it. You're stuck in this page. You cannot get out. So the only way you get out is which I don't like doing this, but you have to try to backspace out of it. Yeah, you could get out, but like the other pages all have, you can get out by clicking on the logo but you can't do that with that page. So that's a glitch in the system. That's something that they have to deal with, that they need to fix, because that's very confusing to their customers. All right, let's go back to where we were at. So those are two websites, different approaches, different levels of success, different size companies, obviously, different industries, but you know, they are state-of-the-art website. At least Apple is. Stone is a good, solid website, but they're for what they are, but they've got some issues they have to deal with. So, and that is one of they have some navigation issues. And so search engine marketing, let's define search engine marketing. It is, search engine marketing is the science of having your website be visible to the audience you want, customers and prospects. And so if you do not have use search engine marketing in your processes, what's going to happen is you don't get the opportunity to enter the consumer buying process in the early stages, because your audience cannot find you. So when we look at search engine marketing, it's SEM, search engine marketing, the acronym. It has two areas that make up search engine marketing. One is search engine optimization and one is pay-per-click. You notice the difference, but do you notice the difference between these two? Both of these are paid. One of them is a paid placement. One of them is an organic placement on a Google search. Notice the ad insignia on the one on the right. The ad means that what's being used is a pay-per-click approach, PPC. So there's an escrow fund set up with Google AdWords and has a certain budget, certain amount of money there. And let's just say it's $1,000 per month. And then every time somebody clicks on your site that has the ad insignia, that's called pay-per-click. So every time they click, it's going to cost money. If they click on the website itself, then they click on the menu items, they start going way into the website, every click costs money. And that comes out of your budget. So pay-per-click, but one thing, we're going to talk about the good and bad of pay-per-click, but it's part of the search engine marketing. It's a search engine marketing tool. The other one is SEO, search engine optimization. And that one is the placement and the website ranking is organic. It's there because of quality factors that we're going to talk about. So we're going to compare SEO to PPC. And then you can make decisions on what you will do, what you do in your project. So first of all, the key differences are with SEO, it is organic. So consumers find your website because it's optimized properly. You're not paying to optimize it like pay-per-click. It's optimized organically, and it's a big effort to do that. I mean, this doesn't just happen. It takes time for the results to take effect. It can take as long as 4 to 6 months if you're doing all the right things. And it's a gradual process. So, if you have a client and they want you to handle their SEO. Well, I've been involved in this before where you have to tell the client, look, we're not going to see results from 4 to 6 months. So a month from now, we don't want you to come back to us and say, oh, you're not doing a very good job. We can't find your website or with organic searches, because it does take a time. And it requires ongoing work, especially in the beginning. But you have to, it's not a set it and forget it concept. You have to stay on it. And it's a residual benefit. And you're not paying for the clicks. They're finding you because you have a quality web placement. And we'll talk about some of that. Now for pay-per-click is a different story, PPC. Once you set it up, you have a website, you set it up with Google AdWords, put your budget in, and you've purchased keywords. Whenever somebody clicks on those keywords, you're going to show up. You could show up number one in some cases. But you will only be number one as long as your budget holds up. That's the problem with pay-per-click. It's you pay as you go. And it requires management to ensure the budget isn't wasted, because the budget can be substantial. But it's automatic, instant ranking. It's going to have the ad next to it, which has issues on its own. But once the budget is stopped, results stop. This is a kind of a random company in the San Diego area. I just wanted you to look what's going on. Follow those arrows. You're looking at an ad on top. Then you're looking at the organic placement on the bottom. You notice the ad is on top because they're paying money for the keyword Kohl's Fine Flooring. This is not a big accomplishment because Kohl's Fine Flooring is the name of the company. If you rank for those keywords, you should rank, you better. Those are called branded keywords. You need to rank for those. But the reason they pay for the clicks, the ranking on top, is because what if their competitor in their pay-per-click strategy, if they looked at Kohl's Fine Flooring as their biggest competitor, they could actually purchase the keywords Kohl's Fine Flooring for pay-per-click. So if someone were to if someone were to type in Kohl's Fine Flooring, they would show up on top. And if you clicked on it, you go to their competitor, Metro Flooring. You go to them. So that's why you'll see businesses at times, and this was the case here, have a pay-per-click campaign along with the organic SEO placement, because what they don't want you to do is click on the ad and then have you go to a competitor. And that has happened a lot. So it happens a lot with businesses. It's in the US, the laws are pretty lax, if you will. And so you see that happening sometimes. Now we're going to make the case for SEO, search engine optimization, the organic process. As we scroll down to this, 93% of online searches begin with the search engine. Okay, fine. The next one, though, is key. 75% of users never scroll to page 2. That's kind of scary, actually, for a business, because you may be optimized as well as you can be and be on page 2, and you're going to be missed. But what you have as your advantage is that on the bottom of the page, 78 to 80% of users ignore the paid ads. So that little ad insignia, they actually avoid that. So the power of having the ranking is diminishing. This having that top ranking is diminishing. Most consumers, even though it's on top of a search, they won't go there. So I just want to go over SEO here on the left and on-page SEO, everything you do on the page. And then the off-page SEO is everything you do off of the page, away from the page. So we're talking about organic placement. We're talking about organic ranking SEO here. First of all, what goes around that green ball is content marketing. Google has what are called Google bots, and there's an artificial intelligence that is constantly patrolling the web, and it's looking for quality signals. It's looking for things that consumers look for. Consumers want quality content on a site. Okay, they want that. The other one next to it is keyword optimization. It's looking for keywords to be used, but not random keywords, but meaningful keywords that consumers are thinking about when they're thinking about your industry, the keywords. Example might be hotels in San Diego. Someone from Europe might be searching that. That would be a very important keyword, hotels in San Diego. It's looking for, the third ball down is looking for images. So images need to be clear, concise, and the load speed must be good, or it's going to slow down the site, and that would be a bad thing. Okay. The next one is page speed. Page speed. How fast do the pages load? Do you have a lot of video? Where's the video being housed, or where does it live? If it's an offsite server, if it's YouTube server, it's really fast. But you could have some offsite server somewhere that might not be fast. So that all those things play into on-page SEO. But there are some things that happen off the page that businesses have to be mindful of when they're looking to optimize their website. There's link building. When there are links pointing to your website, what that tells Google is that you have authority in your industry. You are an authority. You're an authority. That equals higher ranking, because search engine optimization, because that's something that the Google bots see as valuable. Link building. It's sort of a forgotten about factor by a lot of people. Guest blogging has to do with adding pages to the website. What Google wants to see is not a static website, but a website that is being improved and adding content, adding value. It's looking for that. And then something else that's off the page is social media. It's looking for active social media. It's not going to judge, the Google bots are not going to judge the quality of your social media, but what they want to see is activity. They want to see a consistent activity. And then that's off page. So you have the green is on page, you control that. The other one, the orange, is off page, you control that too, but have a little harder time to control. So we want keywords. An exercise for the project is to develop keywords. We have what are called head keywords, and we have what are called long-tailed keywords. Head keywords are typically common keywords for a business. And typically there's going to be, as you look at the vertical axis on the top, it's pointing to short keywords, or we call head keywords up there. What that means is that if you look at the vertical axis, search volume is very high. And that's where the short tail keyword would be. It's very high volume. A lot of people search for that. So if you, like bed sheets is an example I used here. So the term bed sheets or sheets, very common keyword. A lot of stores are going to sell bed sheets. And so it's going to be very difficult to rank for that keyword. You need to put it into your website, but don't count on that bringing you a lot of business. But as we go down this continuum, we go vertically down. You go from middle tail keywords to long tail keywords. You notice the long tail keywords live on the horizontal axis. And when you look at this, the farther you go to the right, the less audience you're going to have for a particular keyword. But you have a higher chance of conversion because of the lower competition. So an example is, and you extend the keywords as you move to the right. So the short tail keywords are, for example, bed sheets. The long tail keyword is perhaps bed sheets that keep you cool. That's a well-known concept that industry knows, bed sheets that keep you cool. So if that's the keyword you're using, long-tail bed sheets that keep you cool, and somebody types that in the search, you may be number one in the world for that, because you've dedicated yourself to longer tail, far less frequently used keywords. So I'm going to be asking you to develop short-tailed keywords like bed sheets and long-tail keywords that bed sheets that keep you cool, just so you can make a distinction between the two approaches. If you want to check the speed of your website, you need the exact, here's a live link to it. You need the exact website. All the, the HTTPS : / whatever the www is, you need the exact website. If you click on SEO timer, you put in the actual website, it's going to give you a reading and look something like this. This hotel, this is one of our clients, this hotel, they receive a B- for their overall performance for SEO from this website, which basically has similar processes to Google as far as ranking is concerned. So that includes on-page SEO. So the SEO on page, you can manage that. It actually, they do a pretty good job with that, but they get an F for links. So whoever is working the website doesn't even know about links, doesn't care about them, but it is affecting their SEO. They should care. Usability is decent, B, performance is just above average, and social is a little above average. I know for a fact they do a terrible job with social media. this business. What they do is they just post content every day, but it's not well thought out. It's just, we call it the checkbox approach. They're checking a box. Oh, I did that. Now I'm going to go do something else. I checked the box. So social media, what that tells me though is that if they're gaining a good rating on social media and their followers are not impressive at all, what Google's looking at is just activity. They just want you to post something. So it's activity is what they're looking for.
With the links, I don't understand.
What was that?
The links, I don't understand. Like links to another things or?
Hold on one second.